Hi there, I'm David Boag, and I thought I'd give you a bit of a visual introduction to NaturalFocus tutorial. Of course, if you're a Windows user and you've hit the download button, what will happen is that you'll be asked whether you want to run it or to save it. Obviously, you're going to save it. You're going to save it into a folder that you can find later on, and then you'll double-click the icon and it will then leap into action. When it leaps into action, you'll be presented with the menu that you see in front of you now, which is indeed the main menu. And when you roll over any of the words, you'll see not only do the words change, but the cursor also changes colour, and that is an indication that it's definitely worth clicking on. Having clicked on equipment, which I did in this situation here, then of course that takes us to a different area. Maybe we'll click on supports, which takes us into an area which discusses about tripods and bean bags and other types of support. Maybe you'll click on tripods to discover more. And so we're getting deeper and deeper into the program as you click on these different things. But we can always find our way back very easily, because if you go up to the top right hand corner, you'll see the word supports, and that would take us back to supports or back to equipment or back to the main menu. So you can always find your way back. Added to that, of course, down in the bottom right hand corner, we've got next. That will take us on to the next little bit. Always keep a lookout for that word next. It's always worth looking for that. And then of course we can go previous, so we can go back to where we were before and so on. So that gives us a pretty good background to the very simple navigation that's involved in this quite complex program. Incidentally, there is also another form of navigation that we haven't touched upon, and that is, well, we can illustrate it here. For example, if we're in the landscape area, habitat and landscape at the moment I've just popped into, and in amongst the text, every so often you'll see various words are highlighted. Here the word that is highlighted I've got here is camera. And so we can click on that word camera, and that now whisks us out of the landscape section into the equipment section, where we can discuss cameras and learn about that kind of thing as well. Incidentally, this tutorial is for everybody, not just for people that use single lens reflex cameras. I incorporate things for compact cameras, bridge cameras, that kind of thing as well. It is for creative photographers. And whilst we might all want a single lens reflex camera, not all of us have got one. And not all of us want to carry one either, I suppose, because they're that little bit heavier. Obviously, in the early stages, not all of the links will work, because there's going to be many parts and it will build up over a period of time. So items that are grayed out will in time become active, as you can imagine. Now, one of the key things that I was very interested in making sure worked well was the interactivity of this particular program. I wanted things to be exciting, to be interesting, to be stimulating, even things that are technical, that don't initially appeal to me, if I'm honest, but nevertheless they can be exciting if we look at it in a creative way. For example, the size of aperture is relevant. It affects depth of field. And I can demonstrate depth of field and by you clicking on different apertures. I can illustrate them. I can talk about it. You can try. Look, I am trying right now all the, many of the different apertures. You can do this and you can read about it and find out what happens. Then I can summarize it really clearly for you. I can demonstrate it in a practical way where you really put it into practice, and you can say, oh wow, that's what happens when you change the depth of field and so on. So it is very, very active, and it demonstrates things in a way that is so easy to understand, even for people that are not technically minded. When we talk about interactivity, I suppose in a way, if we go to animal life, mammals, for example, I don't know, what should we go, hides? Quite often you'll find that there's little pictures. You'll see little pictures down the bottom here. Click on the little pictures. Always be looking for little pictures that you can click on. And as you click on them, of course, more information comes up, more pictures and more things for you to look at. I want this to be inspirational to you. Now what's going to happen, of course, you download the program and you will have a really good chance to try it for yourself. Really do try it out and see if it works for you. As I said, not everything is active, but there is enough for you to get a real feel and a taste for it. Obviously, I've made sure that you'll find the subscribe button. And when you do click the subscribe button, what will happen is you'll be whisked off to PayPal, where you can subscribe for the rest of this tutorial. It comes in 13 parts, and as soon as I get the information that you have subscribed, the first part will arrive through the post as quickly as I can get it to you. And thereafter, a part will arrive once a month for 12 months. And on the final month, then the completed tutorial will arrive in a boxed edition and so on. So it will build up over a period of time. Each month it will get bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually it will be completed. I've designed it not only to be educational, to be teaching, I've also designed it to be enthusing, to be inspirational. And I truly hope that it inspires you and encourages you to get better pictures.